This is an early Bolens garden tractor. I think it's a 1957. The serial tag says this is a Type 21 HD01. This is a variable speed belt system, and it has a chain down at the bottom. The previous owner had some trailer balls on there. The one towards the rear is on a toolbar, so it'll come out of that receiver there. I think the front one might be welded on. It's got an oil bath air cleaner, and it's got a rope start engine. This is a Kohler model K160. They were only made for a few years, and that later became the K161. It's got a brake pedal that goes back to some band brakes, and it has brakes on each side. You can swap the front and rear sprockets and get a different gear ratio. So that's your high and low range on this tractor. Apparently the previous owner liked International Harvester. He's got an IH badge on the front of this. The engine feels pretty normal when I move it around. I was told it ran good when it was parked. I'm not going to restore this one. It's good enough to keep in original condition, but I might do a cleanup on it. I just want to try to get it to run and drive. Maybe I'll take it to some shows in its work clothes. Here it is without the hood on it. That gives you access to the oil dipstick there. Let's take a look in the fuel tank. Looks like caulking. I'm gonna put a light in there and look around. Yeah, that's pretty nasty in there. Looks like it might be tank sealer. If it is, it'll probably be hard to get out of there. Yeah, I'm gonna move on to other things and think about that. There's no spark there. It's gonna need some work. Well, I need to get to the points to clean them. And they're under that cover way back in there. So I think the easiest way to get there is to take the engine off. I have to disconnect the throttle cable and the kill switch wire. This air cleaner don't have screws in it. It's just being held there by that top bolt. First I'm going to take this fuel tank off. I know I need to do something with that. There's no oil in the air cleaner. There should be oil in there. This choke is pretty stiff. It needs some exercise to get the fluid worked into it. This is your main drive belt. It's loose while the speed lever's in neutral. When you move the lever in the forward direction, the belt tightens up. When you move the lever back through the neutral position and hold it towards the rear, then it moves this reverse disc in contact with the engine pulley. So the V-shaped portion on this larger pulley should be engaging in the slot on that smaller pulley, but they're not lined up. There's no side-to-side movement here to compensate for that. It looks like all the parts are good. They just need to be aligned properly when it goes back together. Before I take the engine off, I gotta do something about this big spring over here. In order to get the tension off, I'm probably going to have the drive belt off so the mechanism can relax. So I'm going to try something here. Hopefully the variable speed pulley's not locked up. I should be able to move this control lever forward. The thing only works while the engine's running, so I have to rotate the engine. If you watch the variable speed pulley, the belt on the far side will go to a smaller diameter, while the belt on the near side goes to a larger diameter. Now the variable speed pulley has the belt pinched in there, so I can move the speed lever towards the rear and it pushes the belt forward. Then I can get it around this pulley here. Once the belt is off, I move the lever back forward again, and that should take most of the pressure off the spring. I can't get it off that way because of the way the hook is in the spring. I'll try it with my tool on the bottom. Okay, now I can take the bolts out. Alright, there it is. Also, I could get to that points cover right there. You really need to take these apart so you can look at the surface. It looks like there's something on there, and I can push it around with my thumbnail. I'm going to use a little carburetor cleaner on them, just to make sure they're not oily. I didn't have the camera in the right place here, but I wiped the carburetor cleaner off with a rag. And then I'm going to clean them and reshape them with a file. I want to see new metal all the way across it with no pits left. And I want to have a crown surface so they only touch in the middle. If your points don't touch in the middle, now's your chance to fix it by bending that metal arm that the non-movable point is on. There's some stuff hanging off the edges, so I'm going to scrape that off. I'm going to rotate the engine until the points stay open the most, and adjust the points until the 20,000th feeler gauge goes through there with a slight drag. Well, I got it clamped to a bench and I'm going to give it a whirl. Here it is with the door shut. Let's see what the oil looks like. It's kind of black. I'm going to change it. Well, that's all I got for this time. There was more to do here than I expected. So I guess it's going to be a multi-part series. Alright, that's it.